All right, so this is the first episode of the Lucia podcast, and it is when I, Lucia, talk about important moments in my life. And it's going to be pretty interesting, so stay tuned. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to talk about is when I saw Taylor Swift in Germany. It was amazing. The first thing that we did was obviously get onto our flight, which was 8 hours long. That was the longest flight I've ever been on. We had to sleep on the flight, and they gave us dinner. The dinner, though, was horrible. Once we got to Germany, I was super excited. We logged into our hotel, which sadly did not have air conditioning, because apparently in Germany, or in just Europe, people really don't like AC. And then after going to a million beer gardens, shopping in the same area 10,000 times, it was finally time to go to Austria. Now, you might be wondering, I thought this was about Taylor Swift. But don't worry, we'll get there. I promise. We took a train to Austria, which is a very small country. And it's also where they performed The Sound of Music in Salzburg, Austria. So, of course, that's where we went. We had to go. I love The Sound of Music. And if you don't like musicals, you're missing out. Alright, so once again, we checked into our hotel, and I was super excited. I immediately asked my mom if we could go downtown. My mom said okay, so we grabbed my brother and my dad. We went downtown, and it was amazing. We crossed a bridge, and they had so many locks on it. It was impossible to see through them. The next day, we took a Sound of Music tour where you ride a bike and they play the Sound of Music soundtrack. It was amazing. Now, I love the Sound of Music, but now that we're going on a tour to see it, oh my gravy! We saw the Von Trapp house, we saw the nunnery where the nuns lived, and we saw the lake that Maria and the Von Trapp children fell in. Speaking of the river, since it was a very hot day, everyone in our tour group was able to jump into the Alpine River from melted Alps. So I didn't know that, but I did it. I couldn't breathe, it was so cold. Then, while I was putting on my shoes, I was very wet, so I asked my mom to help me. And she dropped her phone in the Alpine Lake. We didn't know how we were going to get our Taylor Swift tickets. It was craziness all over again was right. But more craziest meant that people from our tour group were jumping into the Alpine River to try to find my mom's phone. Sadly, my mom's phone was swept away by the waves because it was a huge riptide. My mom said that she wanted to cry. I felt really bad. After the tour, we went back to the hotel, and my mom did start crying. Me and my brother Marius were on our iPads because we didn't know what else to do. My mom made a bunch of phone calls, and as well did my dad, because my dad did not lose his phone, surprisingly. Finally, after making several calls, after texting a bunch of random websites, we got our tickets back. I was so happy. After that, we went up to dinner in the hotel, and it was gorgeous. There were so many windows where you could see all the sights in Austria. It was so pretty. I like it. And all of a sudden, it started thunderstorming like crazy. My mom told me that at the Eras Tour on that Friday night, it was raining in Germany too. I was like, what? How are these people surviving? But another thing that they could do is catch the rainwater in a jar and keep it for life. After that, my mom took my brother down to bed, and me and my dad stayed up for some dessert. It was so good, even though it was just a sorbet. Then, me and my dad went down to our room, and we went to bed as well. I could not wait for the Eras Tour tomorrow. Once we woke up, I immediately started doing my hair, because I was so excited, I didn't know how to explain it. Then we went upstairs for breakfast in the same room where it was thunderstorming. We had an omelet, and then, of course, we went downstairs and packed up, and we got on the train back to Germany. During the train cart came over with a bunch of yummy drinks. or I guess thirsty drinks. My brother picked out every kind of Fanta that they had. There was so many different types of Fanta, I didn't even know what they were called, because of course it said it in Austrian. Then a funny thing happened on the train. A person came over and asked if we were going to Vienna. We obviously said, no way. We were going to Germany to see Taylor Swift. Once the train stopped, we knew it was finally time to get off and pack my brother and my dad into a cramped room in a hotel. Because, of course, me and my mom were staying at a very special hotel just for Taylor Swift. Plus, the train station was right by my brother and my dad's hotel. It was really easy to get around, even though we kind of did have to take a taxi to our hotel. That's okay. Once we checked in and went up to our room, it was so nicely set up, and they even said a note, I hope you enjoyed the Taylor Swift concert. It was so sweet. Then we got on our outfits and did our makeup, and it was finally time to head to the stadium. The moment we saw the stadium, I could see people everywhere. No one was even inside the stadium, but so many people were outside. My mom even recorded a video of so many people cutting the lines because they just wanted to get inside. The first thing we did when we got there is, well, we tried to get in line, but it went so far. We thought maybe if we bought some merch first, then the line would be shorter. So we bought some merch. And I got the cutest sweatshirt and an adorable poster. They even had the Tortured Poets department sign because, well, of course, she was playing the Tortured Poets. It was finally time to get in line because our merch took so long to get. It was honestly so chaotic. Then we had to walk at least half a mile to get in the back of the line. But then we weren't the only ones who had to get in the back of the line because suddenly a ton of people were in the back of the line. I was so happy we went when we went. After a ton of bracelet trading, after a ton of talking to random people from different countries, we finally were able to get past security and into the stadium. And even my mom had to take a picture of my first bracelet trade because she thought it was so sweet and so cute. My mom got us a pretzel and a Coke, and I think she got a beer too. The first bite of the pretzel was so stinking hard. I couldn't even feel my teeth after that. It was so hard, like, oh my gosh. We finally got to our seats, and just in time for the opening act. Who was Paramore? Honestly, it wasn't so bad. Never even heard Paramore before, but she was really good. Then my mom had to go, and I think she went to get me a burger and some fries because I needed more food for dinner. I was honestly so scared because I thought she was never going to come back, and then the security came over, but they didn't see me with no adult next to me. The people who were sitting next to us were so sweet. Finally, my mom came back. I wasn't worried, but I was just scared that I was going to get kicked out of the stadium. Okay, don't laugh at me, guys. Please don't. Then, guess what happened? Paramore left the stadium. 10 minutes later, Taylor's dancers come out, shaking those big fans. I started tearing my eyes. It was such an emotional moment, but it was so sweet. Oh my goodness, and I started bawling my eyes out when she started singing. It's you and me, that's my whole world. They whisper in the hallway, she's a bad, bad girl. You guys know what that song is, Miss Americana. Then, of course, you know, it was Fearless, and everyone put their hearts up. It was so adorable. You guys probably have seen the Taylor Swift movie, but have you seen her in concert? Another fun thing that happened was back in Lover, she sang The Archer. It's not a surprise song, but it is a song that you might not hear. Then it was Speak Now. Oh my gosh, it was so sweet. Oh my gosh, I love Taylor Swift, and I never will, never, ever not love her. After a bunch of other albums, we heard, oh my gosh, we heard All Too Well. I started crying again because that's like one of my favorites. And then Snow Fell on the Ground, which was so sweet. And well, you know, it was like cardboard snow, you know, like those things that you can like keep safe forever. I got some of those, and it was so sweet. Oh my gosh. And then I started crying again because, well, you know. After the concert was over, it was so magical. It started getting cold, so I guess I did put on my sweatshirt, but it was really big. If you want to see the picture of my sweatshirt, please let me know. We got back to the hotel, went to bed, then it was another morning. When, well, we had to leave. We packed up our stuff, got on the plane, I think. Yeah, the plane. And we flew home. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to Lucia's podcast, My Trip to Germany, and more. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like and subscribe for more, and yes, more about more trips that I have went on. I hope you enjoyed.